Welcome to Winning the Rig Game. As always, this is not investing advice. This is just a way to share my ideas and thoughts about the market. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, it's been a little bit since I've done a video. The truth is, nobody really wanted to watch a video or listen to anything positive about Tesla. You know, it's been rough for a lot of people, and I just didn't see a real reason to do a video. Things aren't much better, but I didn't want to take too long of a break. Okay, what's going on? This has been nuts. Elon was selling to fund Twitter. We all know that. We thought last Friday that he was selling more. Well, that probably isn't what happened. Somebody else must have been selling. He didn't file a Form 4 as we expected. And then we're in the blackout period. So it's highly unlikely right now that Elon is able to even sell. Well, this is probably institutional investors selling off for window dressing. Basically, Tesla's down 63%. If you're a fund manager, you can't be seen holding Tesla. So they're selling off. I understand why. They can't look bad. So that's probably part of it. Big funds are just dumping shares like crazy. Why now? Well, the wash rule. If they have losses or maybe they have gains, depending on when they got in. But if they have losses, then they'll have to wait 30 days in order to get back in. It's also probably because of margin calls. Schwab has raised their margin requirements. So, that affected a lot of people and they're forced to sell. That's also contributing to a lot of this. And then tax loss harvesting and other things and people just giving up. This has been rough. I know a bunch of people whose spouses are just saying, sell, admit you were wrong, and get out of it. Obviously, I don't agree with that. I think that's probably the worst thing to do, but not stock advice. Everyone's got to make their own decisions and their own family decisions. I think a lot of people are selling for that. Will it stop at the end of the 2022? Oh God, I hope so. I mean, this is just madness at a certain point. How somebody like Buffett isn't buying. Kathy Wood and ARK Invest, I mean, say what you want about their performance, but they're buying back in. I bought some calls and I'll be buying back into some of the things that I sold. What's wrong with Tesla? What's wrong with the company? Well, really nothing that I can really see. I mean, I fully admit I was a little disappointed about the 4680 and, the Cybertruck taking too long to hit production. And it's still going to be a little while before it hits production. But they've rolled out the Tesla Semi. We're going to be getting news about a new factory probably this week in Mexico. We could get other announcements, maybe other factories. I still see Brazil as a possibility. Canada or Northeast US. Maybe somewhere else in Europe or Asia. Korea is a possibility. There's a lot of possibilities. So I think if Tesla announces new factories, that's going to be a very good sign. And that should help to bring some confidence back in the stock. This is going to take a while to build up confidence. I mean, this was a shot in the groin for a lot of people. So they're going to be nervous about getting back in Tesla. So I don't know whether we're going to see a meteoric rise, a V-shaped recovery in Tesla stock. A lot will depend on those earnings. The earnings are going to be coming out January 25th and January 2nd we're going to get the production and delivery numbers, and then I think on January 8th we're going to get the numbers out of China, which are also going to be very huge. This week Tesla sort of took a hit because of the information coming out of China regarding the insurance registrations. I don't know that that's a particularly reliable number, but hey, the market didn't really need much of a reason to sell off, and that was enough concern. Probably didn't help. We also got news that Elon is going to leave Twitter. Thank God. This Twitter has been a disaster for Tesla shareholders. No way to sugarcoat it. It's just been death warmed over. Why did Elon do it? Well, if you listen to the All In podcast, it's pretty obvious. He had the means, the ability to buy Twitter. I actually believe that he does want to create X.com and have the Everything app, but I think it was mostly because he felt that this was a risk to democracy and he wanted to get in there and release the Twitter files. Personally, I don't see anything coming of it. I think it's disgusting what was going on at Twitter before that, and there needs to be major reforms and investigation. And quite frankly, this is bad for every American, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or wherever you are on the political spectrum. It is inexcusable. Now, when's Elon coming back? We don't really know. He said that he's going to come back when he gets a decent or a good CEO. That's not going to be easy. He is not going to want somebody from sort of left of center, which which I think a lot of Silicon Valley is probably left of center, I don't see that as a possibility because Twitter was taken over by woke left-wing radicals. So I think his natural inclination is going to be to try and find somebody conservative or apolitical, at least. Apolitical would be the best. I think David Sachs would be an excellent choice. Best candidate may be possible. He has the confidence of Elon. He's right of center. I wouldn't say he's radical right, but he's definitely a conservative, a lawyer, understands Silicon Valley and has a lot of friends. I think he would be an excellent choice. Does he want it? Probably not. Could he be convinced? Hopefully. I mean, I have a small audience, but I hope somebody sends this to David Sachs, and I think he also would do it not for financial reasons. I mean, he'd want to be compensated, obviously, but because he wants to see Twitter continue and do well. I'm not sure whether that'll happen. I sort of doubt it, but he would be probably a pretty good choice. So we know earnings are coming. There's been some concerns about demand. The truth is we don't really know. And the fear of demand risk is enough in this time to push down the stock. It doesn't matter whether there's demand problems. The perception that there are demand problems is more than enough at this point to push down the stock. We will find out soon what's going on when we get those numbers. Part of the sell-off and everything, all the uncertainty, has also been as a result of the Fed. Elon feels that a majority of the reason that the sell-off has occurred in Tesla stock is from bad policies out of the Fed. Absolutely agree that's a contributing factor. But my personal belief is Elon sold too many shares in too short of a period of time on the open market. Then you add in the concerns about another COVID lockdown in China. Now, thank God, the Chinese are moving away from very bad policies that have done a tremendous amount of damage to their economy. And then the Fed tightening and trying to terrify the markets so that the markets do their job. In addition, they were tightening and really trying to crush the economy. Elon now thinks that the Fed has gone way too far and we're in a deflationary environment. I think that's absolutely correct. I think the Fed has been very poorly managed. I mean, they should have been tightening in October, November 2021, and they were still loosening up until March. Chairman Powell should have been fired. And I have no doubt that they're going to probably tighten too much. If you look at commodities and everything that's going on, I think we're heading for massive deflation. Some people think stagflation. It's really hard to tell in the moment, and that's part of the problem and the challenges for the Fed. Commodity prices are coming down. Now, input costs for Tesla are coming down, except lithium. We all know that lithium's going to be in a structural supply constraint for a long time to come. They just can't produce, refine, and deliver enough lithium to meet the coming demand. Supposedly, Tesla's okay up until 2024, 2025. At that point, we're going to start seeing supply constraints on the expansion of EVs and stationary storage just because there's not enough. Even now, a lot of manufacturers are struggling. Lithium prices are high and they're probably going to stay high. That's why I'm very bullish on Lithium America. I'm not back in yet, but I hope to be soon. So Lithium America is going to have a court case in January. We'll see what happens with that. I suspect they'll win that. They've done everything right, but it's a little risky to jump in ahead of that. So do I see things getting substantially better in 2022? No. But 2023, hopefully things will start to improve. Stationary storage, that's one more point I wanted to bring up. I think stationary storage is going to outpace the car business in terms of growth for the next couple of years. The cars are still going to be growing at 50% a year or about that. But the stationary storage is going to grow a lot more than that. The Lathrop factory has been expanding substantially and getting up to speed. Texas has announced plans to have a virtual power plant. We've had a huge delivery of Tesla energy in Europe, and I think that's only going to ramp up dramatically, especially in 2023. I think that's going to help the Europeans deal with the gas demand from Russia. So let's see what happens with that. Like I said, commodity input costs are coming down for Tesla. I think we're going to see some price drops coming from Tesla, not just in China, but around the world. Their input costs are coming down. That will allow them to drop prices. As they drop prices, demand is going to increase exponentially, especially with the IRA coming in 2023. Tesla has been pulling every lever to try and keep demand at somewhat of a steady pace for Q4 2022. They have a $3,750 credit. In some ways, that's better than the IRA benefit which is really not going to be felt for somebody that buys a Tesla for another year and a few months when they do taxes in 2024. I think a lot of people are still buying in 2022, and we'll see. In China, same thing. Costs are coming down and they're dropping prices. Now, mainstream media is making it out to be that they're dropping the prices because of demand. We don't know. We have to see. Time will tell. Let's wait for the numbers. Personally, I'm going to be buying as Tesla goes back up, and it will. This is really ridiculous. At the time of this recording, Tesla's up a couple of dollars at 140. It's Wednesday the 21st, so we'll see if it holds. It's very frustrating, and I know everyone's tired, and I hope you were buying at these lows. I think everyone who's been buying will be rewarded and very happy in the future. But right now, yeah, tough time. Good luck, everybody. Thanks very much. If you can, hit the bell, the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm up to about 138 subscribers. Very nice of everybody. I appreciate every one of you, and I hope to grow the channel a little more. So share the video if you can. Thanks very much.